Hi, welcome to Miss Music, or welcome back to Miss Music. If I keep this channel going, I love doing it, but it's very hard to fit it in with work and life in general. If I do keep it up, then I will definitely get around to covering all of the Throwing Muses and Kristin Hersh albums. If you don't know the band, listening to any one of the albums is not really going to reveal just who they are or why they play an important part in music. The album I'm going to cover today is the 1996 release, Limbo, and I will give you 3 reasons why you should really listen to this album. And I think you'll really enjoy it. The album marks a 4-year period, I think, where the band were at their height of their creative powers. If you want to really know the band, then I would suggest listening to Red Heaven, University and Limbo, and these will give you a good foundation into who this band is. You can then go back on their discography timeline and listen to the harder material on albums like House Tornado, or move forward and listen to some of the standout tracks on Purgatory Paradise or their excellent latest release, Moonlight Concessions. Limbo, I think, is an interesting album because it really marked the end of the Throwing Muses. There wouldn't be another album for 7 years after this one. But the album also marks a very different style of songwriting, I think, and a very different sound than is found on previous albums. If you know the album, what are your thoughts on it? Do press the like button to promote this album. The band should receive any royalties from people watching this, and subscribe if you want to be part of the conversation. So, if you don't know the album, reason number 1, well, I don't want to get repetitive, but I'm going to. It goes without saying that Kristin Hersh is a remarkable songwriter and has a unique voice and vocal style. It takes a lot of commitment and just pure survival to achieve those things. I mean, survival as a band. Anyone that's started a band knows it's very, very difficult to survive. I'm a psychologist, and I know that whenever we try and do something creative, our first attempts will draw from our brain's store of knowledge and will be, without fail, derivative of something else. To break out of that takes a lot of hard work. It takes experimentation and time. And having also worked in theatre, I know that nobody wants to give you the money to spend years experimenting just so you can make something new. So I cannot imagine the sacrifices the band must have made to get to this point, the point where they are a very unique band. So what is it about the album that I liked the first time listening? Well, I think for me it was the just explosive nature of these songs and this shift in rhythm and tempo that can be heard on many of the tracks. On a lot of tracks, the guitar also sounds very different, I think, from previous albums. At times it sounds like someone is just wielding a chainsaw. I really love how that song just builds to that very powerful ending. The tracks on this album I think they feel more energized and rawer than on past albums. And at times they feel like a nod to the work of future Kristin Hersh band 50 Foot Wave. But they are more polished than the punk sound of 50 Foot Wave. And more melodic, I think is fair to say. So the second reason is that amongst these upbeat, up-tempo tracks that are darker, more haunting pieces of music like Limbo. This track begins with the bass, but there's this very sinister, disturbing sound underneath the rhythm. It's almost like some devilish incantation that even as the guitar and vocals seek to drown it out, we can hear it there underlying the whole track. If you tune into this aspect of the song, it does really sound quite disturbing. thing I love about this music is that I don't know what Limbo is about. The lyrics don't tell a story, and yet each time I listen to it, it disturbs me. It's connecting to something in a whole other level. And I find that fascinating. It's a pity these tracks don't get played more by the band live. They are really great. Having to choose just 3 tracks for this video was really hard. Tracks like Tar Kisser, Tango, and Mr. Bones are all exceptional pieces of music, and I love those tracks. The one song that does get played live is the next track, Shark, which is a surprise because it's an excellent song, but to me it sounds like it's a really hard guitar part to play and sing at the same time. That song is just so great. On Tidal, on the album seemingly ends with Shark, but if you keep it on, there's a hidden track called Bikini Sad, which is a lovely song. It seemed to be a big thing in the 90s to hide these songs at the end of CDs, and you would have this little surprise. And it's nice that Tidal haven't labeled that track. They've still kept it hidden. So I don't know what you think about this album. I love this album. Let me know what you think. Do comment below. And thanks for watching.